Have you guys ever heard of Kurzgesagt? They are a fantastic educational channel. Brilliant animations, wonderful research. They do outstanding work. I got a link to their channel directly in the description of this video. They've partnered with Toukana, I think that's how you say it, Interactive, to present to us with Starbirds. And if you are familiar with Kurzgesagt, then you can definitely see the animation inspiration behind it. This is an interesting space game. It's a logistics management game around mining asteroids, and there's a bit of a story that goes along with it. I've been thinking around with it for a little while, so I'm gonna go level selection and start with the prologue. It's very interesting, and I'd like to share it with you guys today. Captain says, "Get out of my chair." Aye, aye, Captain. There you go. Love the art style. So that's how the story begins. It says, "Gather around, flock. I have a few words to say. For now begins our great mission." This should be some good squawking. Ahem. "Today, we embark on a journey for the good of all bird kind. In the past, we locked wings and reached for the first mango. But today, we reach for the stars. Mangoes do not power starships. We need rare earth fruits, iron, silicon, fruits that power dreams." That's a mighty fine speech and all, Cap, but what's our actual mission here and now? Right, Ruth. Actually, we need to make a quick stop to fill up on supplies before we can continue. At ease, everyone. Let's get to work. Good hustle. Okay, so Sablina, I think that's how you say it. Sector 1 hatched. All right, we're here, flock. These asteroids look promising. Initiate landing. How does this work again? Not the red button. Maybe his cryo egg got cooked on the way out here. I'm fine, Stella. Just walk me through the controls. I'm not familiar with this model. Just pay attention to the instructions, Cap, and you won't put a claw wrong. Probably. Okay, listen up, flock. According to my notes, we should start with this quest. So quests are going to appear over here on the left side, and there'll be lots of different ones, and even from different crewmates will also give different types of quests as well. So this one has a reward of credits, which we're going to need to spend on all of the buildings we do that we get here. And then we're going to try to find iron. And we need to find 6 iron in order to unlock the credits. So we're going to accept that quest. Captain requests iron. Click on an asteroid to see if it has iron and double click to enter it. So this one, it has iron as well as another resource. And then this one has water and we're not sure what it has. So this one we know has iron. So we're going to go ahead and enter this one. So we take a closer look, zoom out. This is part of the tutorial and stuff. So I'll just zoom out really quick and get through it. This is the asteroid basically. Kind of looks a little bit like a kidney bean or a really stumpy cashew. Yeah. To land, we're going to click on a glowing big crater. That's these big glowing big craters here. It costs us some resources to do that, but our first one I think is free since we don't have any. So right here, there we go. Okay, so first, find an iron deposit and then drag an extractor from your building inventory onto it. This costs credits. So it's 50, and we're going to put this on the iron. And then I need to draw to that. So basically what we're doing is we're pumping iron from the extractor to the launch pad, and then this rocket will take the resources to the mothership, okay? And as it takes resources to the mothership, we will gain in the quest, which unlocks the credits, okay? So then our total credits are up here at the top. So we're gonna also put another extractor here and get this too, because I can. We can get another extractor and another iron source, so right about here is fine. Pop that in, and then if we do a fourth one, it's going to tell us that we can't handle more than 4 on a single launch pad, but it's okay. For now, I'm going to go like that, and then we're going to go like that. Okay, so I got all the resources pumping in here at maximum right now. We've earned the credits, so we're going to go ahead and click that. We get the credits. A single launch pad can't keep up with more than 4 extractors. Build a second pad for better efficiency. So we'll put another pad in here, and we can put it maybe nearby one of the deposits over here. Okay, good. And then we're just going to say this one goes that way. This one goes that way. And then we put another one of those in. And it's costing us credits every time we do this. It's not free, but we start with a lot of resources. So I'm just going to get it going. Okay. This one says it wants us to also get aluminum. It also tells us whether or not we're currently already sending it to the station. This could give us a good idea as to whether or not it'll be fast to get that mission completed. And it looks indeed like it is, so we'll go ahead and accept that one as well. Okay, not bad. With all these new materials, we can build up our station and earn more credits. Let's pick our first module. So living quarters on our station is very good. Station level goes up by one point, excuse me. We get 200 credits. All we have to do is, of course, send iron, which is what we're doing in abundance right now. So that'll be very, very fast. Obviously, tutorial-y type missions right here. It does get a little more complicated as we go, you'll see. Okay, so that'll make our station extra cozy. But now let's get back to business. There are still some resources missing from my list. Okay, so now we want to go and get titanium and water. We're going to go back out to the map, and we're going to use some of these tech points that we've been earning from some of these missions to investigate this one. You can also see the pathing that's going on right here. We have multiple resources and rockets that are leaving and going to the space station here. This is where the birds live, and this is where we need to deliver everything. Okay, so this one seems to have water and titanium is what it seems to have. So we're going to pick a landing spot, and I think I'm just going to pick this one here. Okay, we got a couple of things to look at here. First, I got the titanium hooked up. Second, I can't afford more. Okay. Pin feathers, we're out of credits. That's no problem. These shiny nuggets are what we really need to get some extra credits. Just need to collect them. So we have these shiny nuggets on the outside of this one. And so we have this rover that gets deployed. And all we need to do really is drag the rover to a path that allows it to collect all of these. This gives us a little bit of like emergency credits. They're not much, but there's something. And there's a whole bunch of them in this particular one, but you don't usually get that many back to back to back and everything in the future. But that will give us enough credits to go ahead and get the water hooked up as well. So now we get water and titanium hooked up, and now we'll be able to get the credits from that mission as well. And then where is my little rover dude here? There he is. Come here. Go that way. And I don't see any more. Now there's a little green one over here. So I guess I'll go get the tech points from that one. And I think that's probably good. No, there's another one over here. They do pop up too. They're not 100% there at the very beginning. They seem to spawn a little bit over time too. All right, we got that. We'll get those credits. It says we're almost done. The last thing we need to do here is fill up our oxygen tanks so that we're ready to travel onwards. Cool. So now we need a refiner. Starting to get a little bit more complicated, right? The game's very easy, yes, but it's going to start getting a bit more complicated now. We need to produce oxygen, and for that we need a refiner. So we're going to do that. We're going to use some of our tech points to unlock that. And then once we do that, which we need to send resources in order to do, in this case, we're just going to need to send water. So as we send water, we will then unlock the refiner. And that will allow us to send oxygen, which will earn us, I think, completion of this level. It's pretty much a tutorial level, as you can probably imagine. But as we go further and further into the systems, things will start becoming a bit more complicated indeed. So I'll just go ahead and get some of these things here while we're waiting for that to go in. I could also speed this up, I think, probably, but just dropping another one. So we just drop another extractor there, and I'll drop another one there too. So you can handle 4, so I'll give you 4. There we go. So we'll go ahead and accept that. Now we have the refiner. We can claim that. The refiner transforms one resource into another. Pretty simple. We can place this wherever we want. I believe this is the water source. This is the water source. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place the refiner right here. Now what I need to do is send the water into the refiner and then the refiner into the rocket. So I'm going to have to move this to be hooked up to that. And then this one gets hooked up. That's not where I want that. There we go. Hooked up to that. There we go. So now it's going to send oxygen instead. We're sending all 3 of the resources instead. Where is my rover? It is. There are many things for you to get, little rover. Where is the other one? Up there. Oh, can you not get in there? Yeah, get in there. There you go. Excellent work, Flock. With all these materials stocked and our machines fixed up, it should be a smooth journey to our next destination. I recalibrated our devices and improved the precision of our trajectory calculation by 20.2853%. If my math is correct, and I do believe it is. Space exploration isn't about math. You gotta expect the unexpected. Trust your gut. Trust me, Rust. Is your gut familiar with the Kestrel's law of planetary motion? Or maybe I didn't stay up all night doing the calculations that stop us from being smashed apart by asteroids. Thank you, Stella. I'm sure Rust was joking. Let's put all that math to work then, Flock. To the stars. All right, so we hatched. We're good. And then we can travel to the next sector. And you can kind of see how well we did through here. Not sure what the 30% necessarily means, but maybe we're in the top 30 percentile. I have no idea. Playtime, how much it took us. And we get these. We didn't get the high score in the 50%, I guess. Otherwise, we'd get that. And then 100% is this. Maybe it's a percentage, you know, like a completion in that sector or something. I don't know. Either way, we're going to go to the next sector now. So Sablina, Sector 2, a strange discovery. Captain, I'm getting strange readings from this sector. My sensors have picked up a statistical anomaly. Something with extreme mass and density. That sounds just like the kind of resource we're looking for. Where is it? We have to get closer to investigate. But Captain, there is the matter of debris field. I'd advise we make our approach steadily over the next few days, carefully monitoring. What are you squawking about? Captain, this is the great unknown we came out here for. Don't let Stella scare you. I'm not scared. Science Officer Stella, set a course for that group of asteroids. Scared? I'm not afraid of rocks. All right, so we're on our way towards these asteroids now. We're very close now. Let's find this strange object. So this one has what looks like water and maybe gold. Yes, gold. Ooh. Let's go ahead and down here and explore and choose a landing spot. And this looks like the anomaly, so we probably want to be closer to that. Let's try this one. All right, so this rock has to be the culprit. What is that? Great gizzards. I've never seen something like this before. I'd like to take it to our station for examination, but it seems to have fused with the asteroid. That ain't no problem. All you need is an excavation hub, and lucky you, I know how to build one. That's right here. We need 10 tech points in order to do that, though, so we're going to have to do some quests in order to earn those. The lab is going to upgrade our station and also provide us with tech points. All we need to do is send water to the station. So let's find water. It's down here. So let's go ahead and get you hooked up to the rocket. There we go. And probably get another water one here. We can send that to the rocket as well. We're probably going to need to send oxygen at some point, so we have lots of room here to place our refiner if we need to. Also, there's some extra credits to be had by having one of our little rover dudes going through here and just go to grab a whole bunch of stuff for us there, yeah? So next thing is the gold. I feel like that's something that we'd probably want to have, so let's hook that up too. And let's zoom down this way. So more water on that side. We could probably get faster here with another launch pad, so why don't we go ahead and pop one here. And in this case, we're going to send more water, and I'm also going to send more gold to that one too. Okay, so that takes care of the lab. Modules need taking care of sometimes, like plants. Completing supply quests is a reliable way to earn credits and tech points by delivering more of the same resources. So this is our new supply quest. Just got to basically choose which one we want. Do we want credits or the tech points? At the moment, it seems that tech points is probably going to be more beneficial to us. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then also we have another one here. We can either get a reactor, an engine room, or more living quarters. We have to find copper, uranium. Oxygen is craftable where we are, and we can get more living quarters that way. So how about we go for that one instead? We also now have tech points capable of getting the excavation hub. So we're going to do that, and we need to send gold for that one, which I'm already doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our refiner plugged in. This is all water, right? Yep. So we'll get our refiner. We'll pop it right here, I guess. Let's go ahead and move that to be hooked into there, and then you are now hooked into there. All right, where's my... Right here, you. Come around. Come about. Get all the things. Where's the rest of them? I know they're around here somewhere. There they are. And over here. There we go. Anything else? Okay, I think we're pretty good so far. Let's just go ahead and get some extra gold popped in here because we can. There are loads of quests now. How do I let my flock know which is the most important? The uppermost quest will get resources first. We're going to go ahead and just click these. There we go. We can claim that. So we can rearrange them by ordering them. We can, move them around and stuff if we want to do a different order. We are already doing solar sails. Sounds interesting. Let's go ahead and grab that. And why don't we grab a bit more credits because we're going to run low and we need to build things later too. The excavation hub, for example, is going to take 250 credits in order to build. So we're going to need that too. There we go. We have it now. Let's go ahead and build our excavation hub there. Cool. Come on, Ruth. What's taking so long with the excavation? I want to get that strange object. Hey, this ain't like busting a nest or building a nest. Sticks and feathers ain't going to cut it for high-tech work. Unless you want to peck that thing out with your beak. No, that doesn't sound like much fun. That's what I thought. Now let's get going. I'm going to need these resources to get started. So we've got more resources we need to give her in order to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get, I think manufacturing unit seems interesting. You get tech points for that, but we need to find aluminum. So let's head out back to the map here really quick. And we're going to find aluminum. What is the resource? What does it look like? The icon? It looks like that little triangle. So I guess it'd maybe be this one. This one doesn't have it. This one may have it. Let's go ahead and discover this one and see what's there. Okay, so that's not quite it. That's the silicon, though. And we did have another quest to send... well, there was one available that wanted silicon. Let's go ahead and get more living quarters out of that one. Yep. And then we can enter this one and start getting started on pulling silicon to the station, too. So these are red now, and that's because I can't afford it. I do not have the tech points necessary to drop another landing point. So I still need to get more of those. Now, luckily, we're about to get 30 for this one, and we are sending it. But I want this one done first. So I'm supposed to be able to reorder these. And I don't... This one's not moving, so I can't order that one. But I can order these ones if I want to. Or I should say reorder these ones. So I'm going to go do this one. But I can't do aluminum because I haven't found it yet. So we're going to have to focus on getting tech points here for a little bit. And then maybe we can go get the silicon if it's possible to do so. So deliver the resources from Ruth's quest directly to the excavation hub. So Ruth wants these to go directly to the excavation hub. Well, that means I need the gold hooked up to it, and I also need the oxygen hooked up to it. So the oxygen is here. The excavation hub is there. So let's pull this off of there, and we'll slap it right there. That'll give it oxygen. And then the gold, I'll pull off of this one. Slap that there too, and it's a little bit long. It doesn't need to be quite that long, does it? This, it doesn't really matter, does it? Nah, probably not. Get some extra credits from our little rover guy here. There we go. Yep, just kind of drag the mouse all the way around. Seems fine right now. Okay, so now that we're delivering things directly there, that should take care of it. I just have to wait for it to finish, and then we'll have the 30 tech points necessary to land on the other asteroid. And then I think probably since we're getting the tech points from the other one anyway, let's go and get a bit more credits because we're going to need to build on that asteroid too. And that costs credits to do. Where's my little dude? Come here. There we go. Okay, so almost delivered all the way. Excavation hub, nearly completed. And I should have hooked up more machines. Having more excavators here would have, instead of sending them to the station, you know? Looking great so far. The next step is to tickle the object with a little radiation. I'm gonna need some uranium. The only problem is there ain't no uranium on this rock. We need to get it from some other asteroid. Right. So we need to get uranium. So let's gonna head out. And we have a new object, but I think that's something we can put on a different one. So this one is silicon. That's uranium there. So we're gonna need to discover it from there. To receive resources from another asteroid, you need a landing pad. Research it from the inventory. We'll be doing that too. Don't worry. Okay. So we're gonna want to land. Let's just say here. It's fine. So this is a landing pad. We can research this, and then the landing pad is a way of us sending resources from one asteroid to another rather than sending it things directly to the station. So we'll be looking at doing that too. Let's first get the uranium hooked up, and then the landing pad will be researchable, and then we just need to send gold for that, which we already are sending lots of gold, so it's fine. Let's get another one of these guys. They tend to pay for themselves, these little rovers. If you're patient. And I'm pretty patient. There we go. Okay, so I got uranium on its way, but it's not hooked up to the correct thing, right? It needs to hook directly up to the extraction thing. So what I have to do is, as soon as we get this landing pad researched, I need to send it to that and then hook it up together. So right there, we're gonna claim this. Okay, so I've researched the landing pad and received the uranium. To make sure it's safe, let's place it in a big crater on the excavation asteroid. So we're gonna head back out, go back to this asteroid, and what we want is to put the landing pad near this would be the most ideal, and I don't have anything near it. This is kind of in the way, but I can probably make that work. So we'll go like this. Okay, this one's humming with uranium. Let's get our production going. So we're gonna wanna hook this up to that, because this is gonna receive the uranium and it's gonna push it into that. So the rockets are delivering uranium to our station by default. Go back to the map and change its destination. So what we want to do here, excuse me, we have the landing pad here. So what we want to do is tell this to go there. And now, instead of sending the uranium to the station, it's going to send it to the landing pad we just made. So we can speed this process up by simply having more extractors. So I'm going to put another one down and hook that up. There's two of them now. And is this the only resource on this whole rock? It sure does seem like it, doesn't it? So why don't we speed it up even more? We'll put a third one there. For now, I think that's fine. It says, fantastic work, Flock. The uranium is being delivered to the other asteroid. Let's return to it now. All right, so we're here. And we should see that quest is now completed. There we go. We're almost there. Pretty sure this is the last thing we need to break the strange object loose. All right, so right now, we need some quartz. And I can also, of course, I need to send some of these other things too. So oxygen's being produced. I don't see it being sent to our home though. So I probably want to send oxygen to us, not just to the extraction zone. So where's the oxygen? Okay, right here is the oxygen. So why don't we take, tell you what, let's put another refiner down. Hook you to that. There we go. And then hook that to there. And then get some more water hooked up to the rocket anyway. So right about there, and then we'll just bring that around. So now this one can send more water, and the other one will now send oxygen to the station so that we can start fulfilling this, because I want to get that too. Okay, so next we need quartz. Wait, what is this quartz resource? Never heard of it. Hover your cursor over the quest. Yes, so this. It would appear that we need to produce quartz ourselves, and we'll need a chemical lab for that. Ah, so the crafting recipes. Yes, things get more complicated. So we have silicon plus water equals quartz. But we need a chemical lab in order to make that happen. Luckily, we can research that by sending water and silicon. We don't have silicon. Time to go get it. Now that we have some credits, we still don't have the tech points to build the landing pad here. So this is where the silicon is. We just need to have the tech points to do that. So manufacturing unit would be nice. We still haven't found aluminum yet. Must be here. But we still don't have the tech points for it, do we? Yeah. This one's going to give us our living quarters. Let's go for a tech points quest here. We're going to send oxygen to the station. So let's make sure we can get some of those tech points. And then as we let that go and we get more, then we'll continue from that. It would appear that we need that for ourselves. Yes. Click on the chemical lab and research it. Well, it's not quite that simple, okay, game? Because I kind of don't have enough to do it. All right. I don't have enough to do it. I'm working on it, though. It's almost done. Like, we're sending oxygen at a pretty good pace. So just have to wait that out, and then we'll have enough units to drop it onto the silicon planet. I think I want to drop down on the silicon planet first, because this is where we need to produce, because we can't make the quartz anywhere else but here. This has both ingredients to make it. So this is where we're going to want to do that. So we land here when this mission completes, which is very, very close to now. And then, yes, we're already researching extractors. Just looking at the wiki, you can see all sorts of different stuff if you're like wondering about certain things. All right, there we go. All right, I've connected three silicon and one water up to this, because we're already sending water from somewhere else. And that's enough to get it. So we now have the chemical lab unlocked. There we go. I've researched the chemical lab. Dreams do come true. I've always wanted my own chemical lab. Good job, Stella. So according to the wiki, we should combine water and silicon in the chemical lab. Indeed. That's what we're going to be doing. But first, let's make sure we get a bit more credits from that one. And yeah, so we're just going to have to wait that out just a little bit, though, because I am out of resources to make that chemical lab. I need 200 credits. And that is going to require me to have a lot more production going in there. So let's see. So the credits are currently being brought in by gold. Gold is on this rock here. Let's see if we can expand, maybe send some more gold a little faster here. So we have 3 hooked up to that rocket. So let's put a 4th on there. And then we have only 2 connections to this rocket. We can't cross the streams, all these little tubes and stuff. You can't cross them. There seems to be 1, 2, 3. Actually, this is the landing pad. I don't want to hook it up to that. Yeah. So tell you what we could maybe do here. Let's destroy you. And then what we'll do is we'll pull you off of this. It doesn't let me do that. No, it's not letting me do that. Oh, it's maybe this is the origination point? No, that's not true. Yeah, that doesn't really work, does it? Okay. Well, we'll put this back. I was trying to make it to where we could have 2 of them, which I guess now I moved it over, so I probably can now. I just want to put 2 of them here, but this is the wrong one. I want to send it to the rocket pad, right? This isn't the launch pad. I want it to go here. Yeah. So this isn't correct. I need this to be different. So we'll get rid of that. And then we're going to want this to go gold to there. And then gold to there. That's the 4 connections that thing can handle. All right, cool. And then our little rover dude's got to get a whole bunch more credits for us too, if possible. There we go. Any more over here? Right through there. Yep. Anything else? Yeah. I'll have you go to here as well. Little rover. Go this way. Okay. And then we'll get that. 290 seems good. I think we need more credits, so we'll go like that, and we'll be sending water to the station now too. So we still don't know where aluminum is, but let's go back over to where this is, because we can now afford the chemical lab. So the chemical lab combines the two resources, right? So we're going to want to send... This seems like a good spot for it. We're going to send right here. So I'm going to pull this off, stick it there instead, and pull this off and send it there instead. And then this connects straight there. So the chemical lab is now going to produce quartz, and there it is. You can confirm it's doing quartz just like that, and then they'll send here. Excellent work, Flock. We're now refining a steady stream of quartz. Do you need anything else, science officer? Maybe a tissue. My chemical lab, it's just so beautiful. I wish we'd brought a poet on this mission. Come on now, Stella. It takes all sorts to make some quartz. Oh, Captain, that's very poetic. Now let's deliver this quartz to the excavation site so Ruth can separate this strange object. So same thing now. We want to go into the map screen here. We want the quartz now to travel to the landing pad as well. Nah, it looks like only one can hit that pad at a time. Yeah, because now this has gone back to the other, but maybe that's okay. That might be fine. Yeah, because the mission just says go to have quartz there. Yeah, so that's fine. Switching that up to different resources is what we wanted to do there. Okay, cool. We don't need the wiki anymore. We can close that. And then we also can discover this if we're willing to spend the tech points. I kind of am, because I kind of want to know what it is. So this one has copper, also silicon, also there's our aluminum that we just found. So we can now land and get aluminum if we so choose. And I do so choose. So I want to get some more copper now. Yep, there we go. I can get some... ooh. It's pretty crowded, isn't it? Okay, so tell you what. Let's go like this. We're going to go wide around. Like that. It doesn't really work, does it? Bring it back. Go closer. Like that, yeah. And then this is the other resource. I want to go like this, and then we're going to ride right next to that one. Stick it there. So now all three of the resources on this rock are at least being sent back to base 2. So we'll go ahead and grab that. I've never seen birds gather resources so fast. It seems mystery is an excellent motivator. Now let's take a closer look at this strange object. Hold on to your butts. Just gotta lift this thing carefully. Then I can... Huh? Whoa, Captain, you're not gonna believe this, but it's flying. Quick, hitch it to my rover. That'll stop it from floating away. But it's not floating away, it's just floating. Like magic. We have to see what's inside of this rock. It could be like a tiny alien spaceship or something. Excuse me, if we're going to open this up, this potentially dangerous object, we're doing it in a controlled lab environment. You heard Stella. To the lab. Command team only. Oh, and Ensign Yoke. You can come too. I don't want you to miss this. This is fascinating. It looks like a rock. Oh my. You have found out what it is? Something not native to our system. It came all the way from here. That's quite far away. How did it get here? I don't know. Strange discovery. The sector is completed. Yeah, and I could have, of course, gotten the other resources and things too, but there you go. Sablina. Sector 2.1. A little detour. Into the unknown. That's what it's all about. Let's explore this sector and bring home some of the treasures we can find around here. This is an expedition to a bonus sector of Sablina. Replay this level as many times as you'd like. It will be different every time. Okay, so we start with a request for sulfur, quartz, and fertilizer to achieve the objective, I suppose. So that's the first quest. We need sulfur, quartz, and fertilizer. So this has sulfur. We don't know where any of the other two resources are. So for now, we can have sulfur from here. Maybe it would be better to start with the other one, though, because this one has 3 different resources, although none of them are what is being requested. So maybe that's not the way to go about it. You know what? We'll start here. It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to go with, let's say, there. Gotcha. Okay, now we have, of course, other quests and stuff, too. Send sulfur to get the lab going and everything. Great, cool. So we'll go ahead and do that. 1 sulfur there. Get another extractor right next to that, I suppose. There we go. And get another one there. And then on the other side, here we go. Right there. Send it right like that. There we go. And then maybe one more. We can do a lot of sulfur from this rock. So like there. So that's 4 connected. Now, they're also now separated into tabs. So if I want to have something different, like logistics, if I want the rover, for example, then I'll have to do it here. So we'll just go ahead and do the rover, and he'll get the shiny things off the surface of this asteroid, which I'm not sure how many shiny things there are going to be, but looks like that's the only one. But it doesn't look like the rover really costs me much. It just doesn't. It looks like it's free, so I don't have to worry about the expenditures on that. Okay, so I want this to switch so that the sulfur affects the lab first. There we go. And now we can do some other ones here. So now we have a use for those other resources that we were seeing earlier. And then we also have a new supply quest available. Let's get some... we'll go ahead and grab some science points here. Let's go ahead and swap that. And then how about we grab, let's see, greenhouse is interesting. Lab, methane. Let's look for water with the greenhouse. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Here we go. Let's look for water here, and I'm not sure where we're going to find it. So how about we examine this one? Okay, so there's no water there, but we have a healthy supply of the other resources that are around here. So I'm thinking maybe we'll grab that one for now. We still don't have what we need for the water specifically. So I guess we want to find water here, hopefully. Should be the last question mark. There it is. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get here. And we're going to hook up. Whoa, this is very small. Very small. How much water could be here? I guess there's quite a bit, actually. And it's a perfect place for a rover because there's a lot of other stuff on the surface of this one. So we'll go ahead and get the rover to come around and just get all the things from the surface for now. Okay, so I want water. I want water. So 1 water here. Let's hook it up. Oh, come on now. Hook it up. Hook it up. Hook it up. There we go. Another one right there. And then I suppose this is the appropriate time to actually say this correctly. Plug it in. Plug it in. There you go. And then like this. Kids, ask your parents. That's too old for you. A lot of the kids have no idea what that reference is. I can tell if you're from my generation if you understand that song. Because I don't think they have those commercials anymore. All right, there we go. Now there's some more sulfur here as well. I probably could use some more of that too. Let's take a look and see if there is... Yeah, we could probably put another landing pad here. There's a lot of sulfur here. Nope, not the landing pad. What am I thinking? That's not that. I want the launch pad. There you go. That's better. And now I'm out of credits. But I can probably get some more by clicking this. That seems good. And let's go ahead and make sure that we are sending as much sulfur as we can there. And then also more water because this seems to be the only place in the whole area that has it. So let's make sure we're sending a lot of it. I actually want to move this one. I want to move this one over just a little bit. Come on, just a hair. Like that. And then move you around like that. That way I can put another extractor here and get that connected through this little sliver. All right, so lots and lots of water coming from that one. That's what we want. Okay, so water, good. Acid's not being sent yet. And we're going to need more credits, honestly. So let's grab the sulfur. Let's go to credits for that one. And we'll get the credits for that one too. I think I need a lot more credits. And the silicon would be interesting to find. Manufacturing unit. I think we have a rock with iron, do we not? We already know about a rock with iron. It's this one. We just have to land there. Landing on a new rock is expensive. But I don't know. Maybe we can afford it now. Let's just keep hitting this so we can just keep getting more and more. Yeah, more and more credits. We can land on that one right now. So let's go ahead and get the manufacturing unit up on that one. This is a much bigger rock. So we'll go here at the start. Seems fine. Let's get our rover down on the surface and start exploring a little bit. And then I'm thinking probably extraction of this little resource. And what we're looking for, which is this. We want that being sent as well. 2 of it, please. Let's actually do 3 of it because it's the only rock that we can get that from. So we'll do that instead. So we'll get all of that stuff hooked up and sent to the ship as well. Okay. Science points might be a little low here, so we'll go ahead and grab some of those now too. Yep. And we're now sending a steady supply for the manufacturing unit, which makes our base go up, our station level goes up, and then we get the credits from it as well. Now, I haven't really figured out exactly what the benefit is for the station level going up. I don't know if there's like specific... I guess it's part of our score, maybe. That's how that works. 13%, I guess. Core of supply. So, like, I guess if we get all of these, maybe it's... I don't know. I don't know why the station level going up is a big deal. But maybe that's something that will be added in the full version. This is the demo, after all. It's not the full game. The engine room seems like something we could get. That would be silicon, which I'm not convinced we have yet. Silicon would be from here. Yeah, so let's enter this. Let's get this rock going now, too. And we're going to want to send silicon. Let's go ahead and get some silicon extractors on that. There we go. Some extra resources there, too. Popping into all 4 of those, and then we have the money, so we'll get another launch pad. But I don't have the money yet. There it is, to get more resources sent. So we're going to want to go like that and send more there. Let's go ahead and get our rover guy down here too, so he can go ahead and get these things. And yep, all through there. Very good. So we're really extracting a lot from this kidney bean. There's so much more to get too. Dang. So I think maybe more. Yeah, more of this. Get the lab on that one, and let's go engine room. Sure. We can just send more for the engine room there, and then this other resource, I'm not sure what that is, but we're gonna hook it up anyway, just in case I can get something out of that. Okay, so with the engine room done, and I'll have enough to land on a new rock if I want to. We don't exactly know what's on this. There are some extra ones here, and there's maybe a different resource. I think acid is something I have to create. So just like quartz is something I have to create, so too is acid, I think. So to finish this, I require sulfur, quartz, and fertilizer. I thought I saw acid somewhere, but maybe that's not on here anymore. I thought I saw acid. But yeah, quartz needs to be crafted. So quartz is going to have to be crafted from the water coming from here and the silicon that's here. So why don't I send the water to here? This is a much bigger asteroid. So if I'm going to have a landing pad here like that, then I'm going to need a chemical lab up. So we can go about like this. And then we're going to need to send that supply. Let's just put in, this is fine. It's right here. So we need to send the quartz to the station, right? So we'll have to hook it up to a launch pad, which is already hooked up fully. All 4 of them are. So perhaps we can get away with doing this then. It's a little expensive to have 3 launch pads on the one rock, but we can do it. Okay. So next is hooking this up. So we'll do that. And then this gets hooked up to there. Should anyway. Doesn't appear to want to. Interesting. Did I do 2? Oh, I think I did. Oh, hang on. This is another landing pad. No, that's not what I wanted. I did it again. I want the launch pad. There it is. Okay, I should be able to hook you to there now. There we go. All right, so this landing pad is going to receive the water from the other rock, and then we're just going to need the silicon sent to this. So we're just going to say the silicon is sent to this, and then we're going to head out to the map, and we're going to have the water sent to there. There we go. So the water now comes in. It's going to land there like it just did. Quartz comes out of this and gets sent to here. And now we start sending quartz. And that's pretty slow, but, you know, over time. It'll do it over time. And then we can also get this in the treasury there. That's good too. Okay, so I've got a new rock here that has water on it. And that's going to be pretty helpful because we've sent quartz here now. We got sulfur, both quartz. And now we need to send fertilizer. Fertilizer is quite challenging to send. Let's go ahead and get some more money. Fertilizer is going to be quite difficult because fertilizer, not only does that require a chemical lab to complete the process, but it also requires sulfur and hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon also requires a chemical lab to be produced. And there's 2 different recipes for it. We can either use methane and carbon to create hydrocarbon, or we can use water and carbon. So if I use methane, since I have no other reason to have methane, and methane's coming from over here, I probably want to use methane. What's the process of making carbon? Well, we need methane and oxygen to make carbon. So we're already using methane in the process of making carbon. And then, of course, oxygen is made from in the refiner. So there's a lot of different components that has to go together to make that fertilizer. So that gets a little bit more complicated, doesn't it? There's the acid that I saw earlier. Acid is made from carbon, sulfur, or from methane and sulfur, or from just sulfur and water. Interesting. I don't want to have anything that's super complicated, though. Wow, requires oxygen. I don't know. These are getting more complicated, aren't they? All right, tell you what. Let's try this. Let's go. We'll just send sulfur there for now. This is just sulfur, and we need sulfur for our composition here too. So I'm thinking how are we making carbon is really the answer here, and that's to get oxygen. So there's water here. We can produce oxygen here. We have the sulfur here. We can send it. So if I take and discover this one, this has sulfur and something else, but let's just discover this one. It seems quite big. We're going to go ahead and land here. I would like sulfur to be sent to on that rocket, and we're going to get a couple of them. And then I think that's all there is sulfur here, so we might as well just load it up. So just get all the sulfur like that. It's fine. And one more, and we'll just get sulfur there. Now, this rock is going to send... Right now it sends to the station, but we're going to have it send here, and we're going to make carbon right here. Okay? So I need more missions that are easy to complete. Give me money, please. These ones not so easy to complete. We can temporarily... I think we can make do with this one if we can just send the oxygen that we're going to make separately. So this one is where we're going to make oxygen. Let's go ahead and drop a launch pad here. Whoa, hello. So many things on the surface. Let's go ahead and get all of these things on the surface. Look at this. It's a land of riches. All right, good enough for now. So let's say that we want the water. We're making oxygen here. So we're going to want to extract the water. I'm thinking from 2 different sides on this. And then I want the refiner. I want the refiner, probably 2 refiners, just to send even more oxygen. So let's go 2 refiners. It's kind of expensive, but whatever. We're going to go like that, and like that, and then like that, and then like that. That sends oxygen for the other mission we have going on, which is right here. We can get that happening there. But the end use for our oxygen, right? Let's open this back up. The end use for our oxygen is to craft carbon. Right? Yes, oxygen and methane to make carbon. That's in the chem lab. So I need a chemistry lab over here as well. So we're going to say chem lab is here. And we're going to detach that and send it there instead. Living quarters is done. And why don't we send the reactor, because we're already doing the methane. And let's get some more money with the silicon that's on that. So with this chemical lab being situated and accepting now oxygen, we now need to send methane to here too. So we need a landing pad here. So the landing pad is now hooked up to this too. And then you are going to send whatever you're making to here, I think. So next, well, maybe you're not sending it there. Maybe you're not sending it there. You're not sending it there because what you're actually making from this is the carbon. Yes. You're making carbon. This one's making carbon. So we need another one that's sending methane to make carbon again. So I actually need 2 chemical labs. Yes. I need 2 chemical labs. You're hooked up here too. The methane is going to come to both of you. Yeah. That's how that has to work. So we want methane to be sent here. Methane now comes to this rock. It will land. Yep, it lands here. Now it's sending... No, it's sending the wrong resource. You did not send the iron. Don't send the carbon. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't send the... Hang on. Don't send that other one. Just send the one that's... Wait a minute. Oh, I think I understand now. Okay, hang on. So this needs to have it from 2 different sources, right? Because there's only one launch pad here. And everyone is sending. So I'm basically sending rockets from this, and it's getting both resources. Okay, so we need to change that. So let's go to the launch pad. And I'm not sure which resource it is. I don't want to send these. Yeah, so these guys are not going to send here. They send this way. And man, that's really messy. Can we backtrace that? There we go. Go that way instead. And then you are not going to go this way. You're going to go this way instead. Okay, so now I can send... I should be able to send only one resource, hopefully. Like that. And then I guess I might as well put you here as a 4th because we can get more of this aluminum anyway. So the methane, which is here, these extractors are going to send a bunch of it into this. Just go around it like that. Okay, so now we have one that's sending methane and the other one's sending everything else. Can I now, because of that, can I now separate it? It looks like I can, yes. So this now goes there. And then the iron continues to go towards the ship. Very good. Okay. Now you should be receiving only the correct resource instead of the incorrect resource. So now you're making carbon. No, what I want from this pipe then is to be deleted. This pipe here needs to go that way. Okay. And let's go ahead and get these refreshed so that we can make more stuff. There we go. Yeah, I mean, corridors would be possible if I was sending carbon there now, but I'm not anymore. But we can always redirect it if I need to. Okay. So the last bit here then. Let's open up our thing. So this should be creating hydrocarbons now. Unless you're not getting the methane like you should be. Because you should be getting methane here, but maybe you're not. I'm not sure what that logo is. What is that resource you're making? That doesn't looks like pink poo. What is this? So the carbon's being sent to you. The methane should be getting sent to you as well. How is that not coming to you? Hold on. Is this... You should be doing that. You should be getting methane. Interesting. Maybe this chemical lab needs to be destroyed for a second. Hang on. Let's destroy this stuff really quick. All of it. Okay. So I want a chemical lab. Which is there. You're connected there. you're connected here. Now that should give us hydrocarbons like that, yes, but I also want you sending the methane this direction too, and it doesn't look like you're willing to send them to 2 different places at the same time. Okay, so I think the only way we're going to be able to do this is if I have 2 different landing pads, both receiving methane, and they're going to need to be receiving it from different sources, right? They can't share the source. So we're going to need another source of methane. Now, if I go back over to the map, I have on this rock here, I currently have one of my launch pads doing purely nothing but methane, right? That's one of them. There's another place of methane over here, and that's kind of, I guess there's one over here too. So maybe what we can do is put another launch pad down. That's pretty small, but I think we'll make do. This one's better. We'll put another launch pad down, and then we'll get extractors hooked up on this one. Like that. And, whoops. Like, good enough for now. I'll just get this hooked up so I can test it. Got a proof of concept at least. So this is a whole new rocket doing this thing, right? So if I head out back here again, we have 2 launch pads now, or 2 landing pads now. I just want the other methane source, which I think this one's already set up for it. Yeah, so I want the other methane source to now go to the other pad. So hopefully both of them are now going to be receiving. I have to hope that both of them are now receiving the methane that they need. So if I take a look at my pad now, we should see that methane should be coming through here. And this one also receives methane into this one. So we get the methane from there, and then the methane comes in here and we create the hydrocarbons. That's what's supposed to be happening. But I'm a little concerned because I don't see that actually happening. Something is stalled with these rockets, and I can't quite figure out what it is. All these rockets are just standing by. They're not actually landing. So what's the constraint here? Why aren't you landing? Maybe I have to have these pipes longer. Maybe the pipes aren't long enough. We'll try this. There it goes. And then here. Okay, that looks like it's working. Maybe. You're supposed to be creating, but you can't because this is still in the pipe. So now you're creating, but you can't because there's nowhere to go. Yes, this has nowhere to go. Okay, so the next step on this, once we have this, the sulfur, hydrocarbons need places to go. I think I'm going to send the hydrocarbons back to where we mine sulfur, and we'll create fertilizer there. I think that's where we're going to go with this. So sulfur is on this rock. Do we have any spaces left? We sure do. So we can say we want a landing pad. Let's put it there. Okay. And then we're going to need a chem lab on this. You're going to receive this. We're going to put sulfur from this drill, this extractor right here. We'll send it directly here. And then we're going to need from the final bit right here, a launch pad. We're going to hook the chem lab to the launch pad. Okay. And then the last bit here to make this happen is we want the hydrocarbons. We need a launch pad from here. So we have all of this happening. You're the one that makes the hydrocarbons. So we want a launch pad and you are connected there. Okay. Now we come out. We say, hey, I want that pad. I think it's this one. I can't quite tell. Yeah, it's this one. I want you to go there. So that should take care of everything we need. And if I've set it up correctly, we should see a rocket now come to this rock. It will come down and interface with this chem lab, create fertilizer, and then the fertilizer gets sent here, and then that comes down the pipe. There it is. And then that will now go to the space station. So a bit of a puzzle on that one, huh? I appreciate that. That's cool. I think this is cool. Like, it starts out very simple and you're like, yeah, I don't know if this is the right, this is going to be a complicated enough game for me. It gets more complex. And I love the art style too. Kurzgesagt is fantastic. And I just love that I'm in a game. I have a game now with that art style is so very cool. So that is Yeah, you can see it right there. We are making progress on that one now. So it's only a matter of time of waiting here before the fertilizer gets there in time. We're already at 8 out of 10. It's a bit of a bottleneck coming into the station here. You probably should have some kind of, I don't know. Maybe you guys should be using the other port here instead of all jamming into one, huh? There we go. 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Expedition completed. Replay this level as a new expedition or stay here and try to maximize your score. All right, so supply, passive income. With a star rating, you get extra bonuses here. Looks like quest rewards go up with 8 stars. Lots of little things here. I just clicked it. So that is the end of the demo in completing the challenge. That is the end of the demo. It looks like there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be added. More star systems, electricity. So that'll complicate things. New surface challenges, looks like. I mean, you could do all sorts of stuff with different surfaces and, you know, you have to go around the mountains, things like that. I mean, it looks like, you know, multi-layered kind of things here. Pretty cool. More different kinds of buildings and building upgrades. So lots of stuff there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. All the links you need to know down in the description. Take care. Bye-bye.